For much more on Bryson DeChambeau's win at the U.S. Open, let's bring Mark Zecchino and Bob Weeks into the conversation now. Mark, for you, what impressed you the most about Bryson's win?
Well, I think really the par at 8 was absolutely incredible, hitting it that far right into the pine straw and to be able to manufacture a par on that hole, I think really kept him in this golf tournament. And then the up and down at the last. Like for me, guys, this will be more about Rory McIlroy giving this away, and more about Rory McIlroy losing this golf tournament than Bryson DeChambeau winning it. And I know we'll talk Rory, but even with that being said, the up and down on 18 might go down as the greatest bunker shot in U.S. Open history. I mean, you could stand there with a large bucket of golf balls and not do that. And when you consider the fact that he was negative strokes gained putting in the final round as well, but managed to make the 1 on 8, managed to get up and down in the moment on that 72nd green, to me, that's what will stick out from a DeChambeau standpoint in this tournament.
Bob, for you, we were walking around Pinehurst last week, and the reception he got from fans was a total 180 from what we had last year and previous years. Bryson DeChambeau's made a total turnaround. What do you think are some of the reasons for this PR change, if you will, for Bryson DeChambeau?
I think he's changed his tune. I think he realizes that it shouldn't be all about him, and it seemed to be that was the case for quite a while. It was me, me, me. You know, look at me get big. Look at me use different clubs. Look at me do these different things. I'm the greatest. But now I think he's realized that if you're humble a little bit more, if you give back to the game, signing people's hats and high-fiving them in the middle of the round as he was going through the final round was pretty something you don't see very often, obviously. And I think people are sort of, he's coming towards the people, and the people are coming towards him, and they're meeting in the middle. Some of that social media stuff he talked about in that clip on YouTube is helping in a great way, but I think he's really sort of calmed down and realized that he can use the fans to his advantage. Listen, they were pumping him up all the way around. Last year at the PGA Championship, he was getting booed. So it's not that long ago that this transformation sort of started to happen. And I think it's, as Rory said in his note that he put out on the Monday after, he said, golf needs a guy like Bryson DeChambeau right now. And so in addition to this win, I think this is going to be big for the game of golf in other ways as well.
Bryson DeChambeau, now a 2-time U.S. Open champion and top 10s in all 3 majors so far this season. Now, Bob, you mentioned Rory McIlroy. That's where we're going next because, Mark, those 2 short misses down the stretch, they're probably going to haunt him for quite some time. How much scar tissue do you think Rory will take forward from what happened Sunday at Pinehurst?
I don't want to overreact to what we just saw, guys. And I know that there are people on social media saying, let's not forget what Rory McIlroy did in 2011 at the Masters and then what he went on to do. But this is a different Rory, guys. That was a young man. This is 13 years later. This is a lot of scar tissue already. This is an individual over the last year that had a horrific time off the golf course. Obviously, marriage issues that are hopefully back on track. In a way, feeling like the PGA Tour threw him under the bus with the Public Investment Fund. I mean, it's been a hard year for Rory McIlroy, and I don't know if he comes back from this one. And I'll throw another one at you guys as well. Horrible club decision on 15. Misses the putt from inside 3 feet on 16. He was 496 for 496 on the year before that miss. And how do you let Rory McIlroy hit driver on the last? How do you allow him to hit a club that doesn't give him some wiggle room? If he turns it over, misses it right, he should have picked the club that went to the wider target. And that's where I'm going to go with this with you guys. I don't know if Rory can win a major with his best friend on his bag. I love Harry. I think Harry Diamond a lot of times gets a bad rap, takes a lot of the blame. But I think Rory has proven now, from what we just saw on Sunday, that he needs a ring general. He needs a boss. He needs somebody to look at him like we saw with Steve Williams and push back sometimes and maybe have an opinion out there, because I don't know how you hit driver at him on the last hole. That to me is mind-boggling.
Especially there was a little extra juice behind that swing on 18, 190 miles per hour of ball speed off the tee. Bob, I want to get your perspective on this too. For Rory McIlroy, you mentioned he's not playing this week at the Travelers Championship. What do you think his outlook is now for the rest of his season?
I think he's a little fatigued probably. That was 4 weeks in a row, or it's 3 weeks in a row, I guess. He was going to play 4 weeks in a row, but he's played a lot. He's done a lot. He's had a lot on his mind personally. Off the course. And so I think right now taking 2 weeks off is probably the best thing that he could do. You know, if you go back to the last round, I think there's a lot of good stuff. He hit 46 of 56 fairways. So his driver and whatever clubs you were using were working fairly well, just not at the proper time, as Mark pointed out. You know, the putt on 18, as short as it was not an easy putt. It's a downhill slider. There's probably, I don't know, 6-8 inches of break in it from what we saw. So that was not an easy putt to make, just because it's a short one. The one on 16, without a doubt, was a flinch, and you can see his left elbow come up as he comes through the ball. And so I think, you know, we talk about, will this create scar tissue? He's already got pounds of scar tissue on him. You know, he is not a guy who has had it easy here. He's had so many close calls, and just recently you can go back to last year's U.S. Open. You can go back to the Open Championship that he lost to Cam Smith, whereas if he had sunk one long putt like he did earlier in the round on Sunday this time around, you know, if he'd sunk one of those 20 or 22 footers at the Open rather than making them at the U.S. Open, I mean, he might already have another claret jug. So there's lots to look at, and I think for Rory right now, taking some time off, getting some perspective, you know, saying, hey, look, I finished second, yes, again, but I did finish second in another major. Maybe that'll help him as he gets into that Scottish Open Championship run.
And we won't see Rory McIlroy back in action until the Genesis Scottish Open. It's now 6 consecutive top 10s for Rory McIlroy at the U.S. Open, 2 straight runner-up finishes, but yet again, hasn't won a major since 2014.